All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Clinton Dix there for the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They find some open field here. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Luck on first down. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Tiger. Down. Green to line. Come back.
Back to throw, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Khalil Mack coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielding at the 33. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Luck. Throwing for his linebacker, he's got it complete. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
On 3rd down, that's Grant. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
Different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He's letting this one go for Fuller. It's caught at the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Will Fuller, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. Sturgis adds the PAT. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Chiefs now. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
I mean, you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So the loss of a yard, and now 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line. Throwing is long. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Locke. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Corey Graham, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are in for 6. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's got Smith here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Again, it's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Richmond. Back 22.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Oh, now he bowls him over. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On second down, here's Watson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Out of the gun, Watson. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And now here comes Kansas City. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to throw. Love. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chandler Jones in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Here's the Chiefs punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Watson now 7 of 10 here in this first half. And he's got a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, this is Cook. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Watson now looking to throw on 2nd down. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have broken the tie. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. It's caught. Stills right side. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Gun. Color. Monday.
On 1st down, Luck. He's got a man wide open. It's Macklin. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Now a 1st down throw. Luck steps. Now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Wrong.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Check out. 290.
To throw on 2nd down is Luck. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck going up top. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They are going for it. It's Luck. And he's going to go down way back at the 42-yard line. A surprising move to go for it. And predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. And Sturgis able to knock it through. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. To throw is Watson. To throw on 2nd down. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Handoff comes to Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Come back, come back. Down. 280. 280.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. To throw is Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eli Harold. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20, and they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Reset. Back 22. Back 22.
After the interception, here's Watson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard.
Richmond.
Watson. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Will Fuller with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And caught left side, Olsen. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Monday.
Play action. It's locked. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a third down. From the gun, here's Love. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And coming out now, the Broncos. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here's Watson now on second down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10.
Flag 22! Flag 22!
From the gun, here's Watson. And complete right side to Cook. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A gain of 39 that time.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run with Cook. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
We're back now in KC. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Down. Green the line. Green the line.
Now Watson operating from the gun. They'll roll him out right, escaping the pressure, and he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Deshaun Watson taking it in from 7 yards away, and the Broncos will extend their lead. Sturgis for the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now Love. And Stills over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On first down, it's Love. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Tackle made by Demarius Randall.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Luck now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Luck. Looking for the out route. It's complete to Macklin. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. They'll look to run with Ingram. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Hurry.
Now Luck on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Greg Olsen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line. Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming. Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace. I am speechless. I am without speech. To throw on second is Watson. Buying time to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. As a general rule, receivers love the comeback route because it puts them right in the sight lines of the guy throwing the ball. But in this case, the defender saw it and were able to knock it away. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. They'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. That's taken at a 25. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that? I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so. Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless. And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. On 2nd down, here's Love. He's going to air one, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 32 that time. On 1st and 10, Love. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Out of the gun, Love. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Love. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in. Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Gun. 11Z.
Again, Love. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Chandler Jones getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
Now Watson. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
Richmond. Tiger. Flag 22.
On second down, Cook. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And sometimes things come together exactly like you want. It's not just been the volume of carries he's had in this contest. It's been the production as well.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They run. Cook. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And a timeout here. Timeout taken. Whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally.
It's caught inside the 25. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 64 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
To throw is Locke. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Luck now to throw. To the right side, and he's got Macklin. Complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing again is Luck. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Good bounce-back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Broncos, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So for our entire